So before I get started today with the topic, I want to say a big thanks to everyone who's liking the videos, who's watching them. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, please subscribe, hit the like button, and let's get into this. So obviously this weekend, we've seen Oleksandr Usyk make his heavyweight debut. As I've said in several videos now, he wasn't in there with much, so it is kind of hard to gauge just based on the performance. I've seen a lot of people come out and criticise that performance of Usyk and say they weren't necessarily impressed and that they feel that Usyk, a heavyweight, he's not going to go that far. He's not going to do the things he did at cruiserweight. And personally, there are parts of that I agree with, and there are other parts of that I don't agree with. Now, I want to get into people who are saying that his performance on Saturday was a bad performance. It wasn't that bad. You know, he went through the motions, he went through the gears, he started out slow. We took a look at Chaz Witherspoon. At the end of the day, this isn't like somebody going from welterweight to light middle or light middle to super middle. You're talking about going from a weight division where the guys, you might be a bit bigger than some of them, or you might be kind of similar size. The guys who could outweigh you by 30, 40 pounds on a night. Okay? You could have all the skills in the world, but if you fight someone who is just, you know, way bigger than you, just naturally is going to be 30, 40 pounds heavier than you, you're going to want to take a look and get the way of the land in there. Okay? So there was that. There was obviously the fact that Usyk has had some sort of kind of bicep injury in the past. I think that was what happened with the Carlos Takam fight. So maybe he was worried about that. And obviously given the fact that Usyk, the way he fights and how active he's been over the last few years, pretty much since he was an amateur, for him to have a year out of the ring, that's probably going to take a bit of ring rust off him. It's probably going to make him wonder, am I going to be as sharp as I was? Because let's face facts, when he was in the World Boxing Super, the World Boxing Super Series, he was active because that tournament went on for just under a year. Actually, it started September and it was over again July. So he was active throughout that time. He was fighting incredible oppositions. You know, if you flash your minds back to when he won that world title off Glowacki, he won that world title in September. Come December, he was in there with Thabiso Machunu. So Usyk has been very active at cruiserweight over the last few years. So for him to have a year out of the ring, you got to expect there would be some ring rust there. So maybe that was another reason why it kind of took him a while to get up into gear. Okay, so there are all the kind of reasons as to, and I didn't think it was that bad a performance. You can hear my post-fight video. I said that it was a fine performance. You know, given the fact that the guy was taken on a week's notice, Witherspoon. You know, he wasn't in there with much. It was fine. You know. It depends on what your expectation was. If you thought Usyk would just blow this guy out with there and around, well, yeah, it was a shit performance because he didn't. But, you know, as I kind of thought, Usyk, power to heavyweight, probably won't be the greatest puncher in the world at heavyweight. He was never the greatest puncher at cruiserweight, to be fair. But people make it out as though his power is such a big thing at heavyweight. Power is important, yeah, but it's not the be all and end all. There are plenty of fighters who hit very, very hard, but where are they? You know, seriously, where are they? Usyk at heavyweight, I think his power is, it's not going to be, you know, devastating. But I'm sure if you're a heavyweight, you're not going to leave your chin out in the air for Usyk to hit you with. You know, ask Tony Bellew, ask someone like a Murat Kasayev. I'm sure they'll tell you he's got respectable power when he wants to throw shots, like hard shots. So I think people kind of look on that in terms of the old Usyk kind of, you know, no power. It's not the be all and end all. And Usyk has a lot of traits to make up for his lack of power. One thing I have to agree with, people are saying like he won't have the same success at heavyweight that he had at cruiserweight, in a sense he won't be undisputed. Well, the way things are going, it looks like it's very unlikely we're going to get an undisputed fight anytime soon. And for Usyk to be undisputed heavyweight champion, I doubt it. But, you know, strange things have happened. Do I think he'll dominate the heavyweight division like he did at cruiserweight? No. But I would find, the way the heavyweight division is, it's very hard for someone to dominate because people are losing when they shouldn't be losing, i.e. Anthony Joshua. Upsets are happening, controversies happening, rematches are happening. So the heavyweight division is kind of all over the place. And I wouldn't rule out Usyk causing an upset, and I wouldn't rule out someone upsetting Usyk. It might not be someone necessarily we would think. So like if you were to put Usyk in there with someone like a Joe Joyce, you'd expect him to win. I would expect him to win against someone like a Joe Joyce. He could fight someone like a Joe Joyce. He could step in there and maybe fight Joseph Parker, and he could lose. You know what's right? So heavyweight division, it's one of those divisions where you just don't know what's going to happen. So do I think he'll dominate the heavyweight division? No. But some people are saying like they don't think he'd beat a Joshua. They don't think he'd beat a Wilder. They don't think he'd beat a Fury. Out of those three, the one I would definitely pick over Usyk would be Fury. I think Fury would be And I don't think Usyk, and I don't rule out Usyk in that fight, but I think that would be the trickiest. I think between Wilder and Joshua, who would I be more confident about picking Usyk with? See, when you see Usyk, you see similarity to Spilka, and you think of the job Wilder had with Spilka. But I'm just thinking, Wilder's improved since then. He'll have the memories of that Spilka fight in there. And I know Usyk is way better than Spilka, but I think he might be able to adapt a bit better. Whereas Joshua, I could see Usyk having a field day with that left-handed Anthony Joshua. So he's there. He's in the division. He's probably a top 5 right now. Seriously, I would put Usyk in my top 5. I would. So I think Usyk, he is going to have success at heavyweight. Do I expect him to pick up a version of a world title? Yes, I do. Do I expect him to be undisputed? No. I think it's unlikely we're going to see undisputed in this era anyway. I think it's very unlikely. I think upsets happen, mandatories get in the way, stuff like that happens. I think it's pretty unlikely we'll see anybody be undisputed in this era. I think that if we see an undisputed, it genuinely might be as these guys are coming to the end of their careers. So if you look at the Wilder Fury situation, once that gets resolved, when the AJ Ruiz winner gets their managers out of the way, that might get resolved. That might take a while. Usyk may win a vacant WBO belt, might have a voluntary. So I can see someone coming in, might be a Hrgovic, might be, who knows who it might be. It might be Hrgovic, might be someone else coming in, might be a Tony Yoka, picking up the pieces after these guys have kind of left off and then maybe being undisputed. I don't rule that out. But in terms of undisputed, I think we're miles away from that. But in terms of when I say Usyk not having the same success, if you're going to base Usyk's success as a heavyweight in terms of what he did at cruiserweight, it's very different. It's a different division. He may find it easier with some heavyweights than he did with some cruiserweights. He may find it harder. It depends. But in terms of someone coming out and saying that they don't think Usyk is, they think he's a joke at heavyweight, no. Usyk's going to beat a lot of these heavyweights, but I think we need to give him some time. I watched Ade's video where he said he doesn't think Usyk should jump straight in there and fight for a world title. I agree. I don't think he should. I think he should take another fight, maybe an Oscar Rivas, or if he's looking for, we'll say, a taller opponent, maybe a Mariusz Wach, because Mariusz Wach is durable. He'll take Usyk rounds. So that's kind of what I'm thinking on that. Do I think he'd ever get a rematch with Joe Joyce? I think Frank Warren is going. I'm going to do a separate video on Joe Joyce now in a minute, but I think Frank Warren will be keeping Joe Joyce way away from Oleksandr Usyk. He won't go nowhere near Usyk. Another fight that would intrigue me would be Brian Jennings. I think that'd be an interesting fight for Usyk as well. There's plenty of fights that he could be in, but do I think he's going to fail as a heavyweight? No, I think he'll definitely pick up a world title. Do I think he'll be undisputed? No. But is Usyk garbage based on one performance? You can't judge that on one performance. And at the end of the day, people make it out it was a bad performance. I didn't think it was that bad, personally. You can go watch my post-fight review. I didn't think it was that bad a performance. So, people are reactionary. I think that if Usyk went in there against, say, Carlos Takam and impressed, you'd have so many people saying, Usyk is going to dominate this guy, he's going to dominate that guy. So it all depends. But those are my thoughts on this. Let me know what you think down below. How do you see Usyk getting on a heavyweight? Do you think he'll pick up a world title at all? Do you think he might go on to dominate the division? Let me know down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. We are less than 25 subs off 1,000. I am just dying to get to that. So hopefully share this video around. Let's hopefully try and get the ball rolling. Hope you liked the video, and I will talk to you after.